Hi everybody, this lesson is for the ones who never play a bass guitar or a string instrument. We're gonna talk about how we should hold the instrument, what is the best position in order to don't get harmed, and how we should use our hands. Let's gonna start with how we should grab our instrument. In the first place, it's important that we use a strap because it helps to hold the instrument, so some of the weight of the bass relies on our back. So those instruments used to be a bit heavy, and that makes a difference. How we should hold the instrument. Now my bass is hanging from my back, and it's really important that if I stand up or sit down, the instrument doesn't move that much, because in this way, if we play at the same time that we are standing up, the fretboard won't move that much, so therefore it will be easier to carry on playing whether we are sitting or standing. Then, another thing that's really important is how do we sit down while we play the instrument. We have to sit upright with a straight back, and we balance a bit till we find a point that we just can stay still with any kind of effort. Then, once we manage to get this position, we can start to pay attention to how do we use our hands. Let's gonna start with the left hand. This is the fretboard, and these strips there are the frets. When we hold down a string and we play a note, it's really important that we hold down the string just before the fret, not on the fret, just next to it, like that. You see? I'm just next to the fret, not here, just next to it. Because like this the sound is much better, and we have to do less effort in order to hold down the string. It's really important to play effortless. Most of people, when they start to play, they play with a lot of tension, and that's not really neat. Let's gonna start with a simple exercise, which sounds like this. As you can see, when I hold down the strings, I always bend my fingers as if they were hooks, and my thumb is just on the back of the fretboard, on the back of the neck. I do that again. The finger that's more challenging to bend, it's the pinky. It takes a bit of effort, but it's good to keep that in mind. Practicing at the end, it works. We're gonna start playing this exercise on the 9th fret, because the higher we play on the fretboard, the smaller the distance between frets is. So if I move up the bass, here we can see huge distance between the frets, but if I go up, the distance is smaller. When I say up and down, I refer to the pitch, so that's a higher pitch, and that's a lower pitch, So that's what are we thinking about when we say we go up the fretboard or down. Maybe it doesn't match with the movement we are doing, but we take as a reference the pitch rather than the movement. Okay, so the exercise I'm suggesting, we start on the 9th fret and we play twice each note with all the fingers bent. As you can see, the fingers are always on the fretboard. I never leave the fingers, and that's the challenge of this exercise, because most of people, when they start playing and they try to do this exercise, they play it like that. And that's not really good, because that means that you are moving your hands too much. If you think about that, we are interested to move as less as possible our fingers when we play, because that will allow us to play more fluently in the near future. So I do it again. While we are doing this exercise, we need to pay attention to our wrist. Most of the people at the very beginning, they bend their wrist like this, and that's really tense and it can be harmful. So it's better to do the opposite and play in a way that our wrist is straight. So if I do that again, you see, I never bend my wrist. Okay, so the thumb here on the middle of the neck and the wrist straight and the fingers bended. If we look at the wrist, we can see that on the left hand the wrist is completely straight. It's not bended, it's straight. And if we look at the right hand, it's exactly the same. The wrist is straight. It's not bended like this, it's straight. It will take a while before we feel comfortable playing in this way, but if we try to go through that at the very beginning, it makes a difference. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.